Welcome to another episode of the Star Wars Minute. It's your daily show in which we analyze, we scrutinize, and we celebrate The Last Jedi, one shocking minute at a time. I'm Alex Robinson from alexrobinson.fun.
I'm Pete the Retailer from PeteTheRetailer.com.
And I'm Dr. Sirancha, porgologist from The Loudest Podcast. And with me is my co-host, Asterios Kokkinos.
Hello.
Welcome back, guys.
Hello there.
We're talking about minute 19 of The Last Jedi today. Everyone, are we all on the same page? We all on page 19?
Yeah.
It starts off with Kylo Ren saying that he gave everything he had to Snoke. What more does the guy want? And it ends a minute later with Snoke saying that as long as Luke Skywalker's around, hope lives in the galaxy and rebellions are built on hope. So, yes, Pete, you go first.
I wanted to back up a second. Yesterday we were talking about mighty, the word mighty, and where does it appear in Star Wars? Where have we heard that before in the dialogue? And I wanted to open that up, see if anybody had any answers.
I think I remember one.
Okay.
Isn't Luke Skywalker like, I'm looking for a mighty warrior, like a 9-foot tall monster named Yoda, not some little creepo who's trying to make me drink barf soup? Is that one?
I don't think he says mighty there, does he? I was looking for the script.
It was a real roll
know,
of the dice.
You did it was obviously a paraphrasing there. I think he says I'm looking for a powerful warrior.
Yeah, you're right.
Or a great warrior. Yeah, because wars
Yeah,
not make one great.
I think he's like,
That's
wars
what it
don't,
is.
because he doesn't say wars don't make one mighty.
Right. And then Yoda, when he says, mostly because of my father, then Luke says, oh, your father, powerful Jedi was he. That's the powerful that I was thinking of. Anybody else? Mighty?
Well, my first example is
You have
I
multiple,
feel like
I
they
love
should
it.
put mighty. I feel like you could put mighty in front of anything to make it sound like it's. I haven't been gone by Obi-Wan in a mighty long time. You know, you can put like it's a mighty fast ship. You know, you can really put it in front of anything just to intensify any anything.
Right.
So
The mighty porgs have chewed the wires in the mighty Millennium Falcon.
Right.
the mighty. They don't say Porg by name in the thing, do they?
No, they don't.
You never say, "Oh, look, there's a Porg. This Porg went to the bathroom in my ship." They don't say anything. They never.
Chewbacca probably says that, but we can't tell.
It's true. Ray's like, he says you should go with him, as opposed to.
Yeah.
And the porg's like, I'm walking here.
Yeah. So Pete, do you have the examples of the mighty? The mighty examples?
I do. I have two on-screen examples and two scripted but cut examples.
Always two. There are.
Always two. There are. The two on-screen examples are both from Return of the Jedi. Jabba refers to first Luke refers to Jabba as the mighty Jabba in his hologram message to, I think it says, mighty Jabba, whatever. And then when I think that sticks in Jabba's head, he's like, mighty. I like that. Because then when Leia, dressed up as Boosh, brings Chewbacca into the palace, he says,
Mighty
Boosh.
Boosh.
Chewbacca. Yeah, the mighty Chewbacca.
Right.
But in Attack of the Clones, when Obi-Wan goes over to visit Yoda and ask about his missing planet, and Yoda's teaching the younglings, it was in the script, but not in the film itself, that Yoda introduces Obi-Wan to the younglings and says, like, oh, Obi-Wan Kenobi, meet the mighty Bear Clan. And so I think they're just the Bear Clan, but he's referring to them as mighty. They're not the mighty Bear Clan.
Wait, so the younglings they have like little like Cub Scout style divisions where it's like, you're the Tiger Troop and you're the Bear Troop.
And you're the Bear Clan.
Interesting. Wow, that makes it even sadder what happened to them. They had cute little troop names too. Yikes.
Or would it be better or worse if they were called the Bear Claw? Like each one was named after a delicious snack. And then
I don't like that either. I don't want to sit here that a bunch of jelly donuts got wasted by some angry dude.
Mighty hungry.
Yeah, exactly.
And the final example, going even further back, is the Phantom Menace. At the scene around the dinner table where, or it might be after the fact, but when Qui-Gon is talking to Shmi and saying, "Hey, I'm going to take Anakin away," I think it's at that point Anakin gets excited
I'd
and
be mighty grateful.
he says, "Mighty blasters, I get to go with you," like something along those lines. Mighty blasters, and it was I get to go with you, or I get to
Mighty blasters.
Mighty blasters. He says
That's a bullet dodged.
But also mixed into some of Jar Jar's dialogue, I think he says no, a mighty no. But that didn't. I don't know if that counts. Yes, after they win Anakin away from Watto, and Qui-Gon's like, "Oh, I'm taking your son with me. I know just met you yesterday, but I'm taking your son."
Your son.
Then she's like, he's like, "Hey, you're
to Shmi."
To Shmi, yeah.
I thought she said it to Watto.
No. She's confused.
Shmi's confused.
Yeah, Qui-Gon's like, "Hey, nothing happens by accident. You're strong with the Force, but I'm gonna come and train you to be a Jedi." And Anakin says, "A Jedi, mighty blasters. You mean I get to go with you? I get to go with you in your starship?" That's that part. That part made it in, but mighty blasters did not make it in. So,
As well, it shouldn't.
No, it sounds too much like leaping lizards, right?
Yeah.
Annie. Anyway, that was the answer to mighty. Everybody.
Mighty.
Hmm.
In this scene, controversial. Snoke tells to Kylo Ren to take that stupid thing off.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Yes. The
It's
hat.
ridiculous.
The
thing.
helmet.
Well, he assumes it's the helmet. I think he just says take that thing off. I don't know what he means, his
Right.
cape, his pants, or what he's what he's referring to. But
His poster on the wall that says "Hang in there."
Take your shoes off, your family.
Right. Yeah.
look at that floor. Look what you did. Little scuff marks all over the place. But yeah, so this is this the one where he smashes it, or is that in the next minute?
Oh, no. He don't smash the helmet yet.
That's tomorrow. Yeah.
This is the
Right,
one
tomorrow.
where they lampshade the Rey is OP thing. Where they really hang a lantern on it where like Snoke's like, "You got beaten by a girl who'd never touched a lightsaber. Isn't that something you're mad about, audience? Well, now a bad guy is saying it." And I'm like, yeah, I kind of like that a bad guy say it because that is a dumb thing to think.
Yeah.
It's like this farm boy blew up a whole space station with his brain. He didn't even use a targeting computer. Oh, we're not mad about that. But like a lady and her friend beat a bad guy who's already hurt. Oh, wah. So what were you saying,
Oh,
Sirancha?
no, I was just going to cut in with the stupid joke.
No, wait, what's this? Okay, you don't have to say a stupid joke if you don't want to.
No.
I
Nice
also have a stupid
lightsaber.
joke.
For a girl.
Yeah, okay, I'm glad you did cut in with that. Wait, Peter, what do you have?
I also had a stupid joke. I was going to say when you say OP, you're referring, of course, to Ocean Pacific.
Feminine products, yes.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no, that's
I thought
OB.
you meant the OPC killer.
Oh, right, the OPC killer. But yes,
I'm
no, I
referring,
agree.
of course, to OPP, the
Oh, yeah.
the famous, the dirty acronym from 80s rap
know us.
lore.
This episode is sponsored by OB Ocean Breeze Cranberry Cocktail.
Ocean
I'm
Is that
done
a
now.
real thing?
Yeah.
Sounds
you
gross. That sounds like a knockoff of Ocean Spray that you'd get in a weird bodega at 2 in the morning.
I think I'm confusing a name of a shampoo with the name of Ocean Spray.
I think you might.
Anyways, continue. Star Wars.
Star
I'm just
Wars.
picturing you in the shower with rubbing cranberry juice into your head. And,
It's like, this isn't working. What?
Why
Where's
does my
the
hair
beer,
smell so
but,
tart?
Well, I like the line, "Take that ridiculous thing off," because it reminds me of two different things, both of which are comedy. One is from, was it in the, it was in Police Squad, not in The Naked Gun. It was in Police Squad because Police Squad Nordberg was always he was a tall character whose head was always off screen. They made a lot of jokes about that. And there at one point he says something about like, Nordberg, take off that ridiculous hat or something like that. And he just like, then you just see from from above off screen, like a giant, like a I'm trying to remember. I should have looked it up before this, but it's like a Carmen Miranda hat or something like that, or something ridiculous that he was just wearing throughout this whole scene. But then also almost a direct quote, and maybe this is intentional. Maybe this is meant to be a direct quote. There's the scene in UHF, the Weird Al Yankovic movie, where the one guy comes in to talk to the boss. The boss is being established as an angry tyrant. And a guy comes in to talk to him, and the guy who comes in is, he's kind of 80s-ish looking guy. He's got a mustache and glasses, I think, or maybe not glasses, but he's also wearing a cowboy hat has like some kind of silver work on it and a big raccoon tail hanging off the back and just a very silly-looking headgear. And he comes in and he talks to the angry bad guy boss. And then as he's leaving, he's like, "And take that ridiculous thing off." And the guy looks sad and then rips off his fake mustache, which was glued on, and then walks out. And so that's what this made me think of. I obviously wanted somehow to, Kylo Ren to rip off a fake mustache or something.
Well, I think this, I don't know if it's, I wouldn't call it a problem, but one aspect is I don't feel like...
Comeback?
Don't call it that.
Okay.
Rian Johnson is not a yes and kind of guy. Clearly, because like the very first thing is they make a big deal out of this lightsaber, and immediately Rian Johnson, let's throw it over my shoulder. Right. Oh, like here was this thing, how this guy really wants to be Darth Vader. Take that stupid helmet off. Like he's really trying to undermine our expectations by kind of like throwing out everything that seemed like it was important in the other movie. So,
right.
For better or for worse.
I think that's also. It's not like he's doing it to undo it for, I don't know, his reasoning. I would like to think, based on what I'm seeing, that it is kind of creatively oriented. He was like, oh, and then I'll set up, like JJ set me up with this. I'm going to take that, change it. I'm going to set him up with this other stuff. You know what I mean? Like he's like, oh, instead we'll cancel that. We'll do this. He's like, a different kind of yes and, where it's like, okay, great. So we'll undo these things, and here I'm setting you up for a different kind of, I'm going to change it up and then give it back to you so you can run with it.
But that's not really if we're in an improv game and I go and I say to you, well, here I'm handing you a chicken, and you go, no, you're handing me a turkey. That's right. That's not
I say
improv.
Yeah, I'm not hearing a yes.
But if I say no, it's not a chicken, it's a baby, and then you start crying like Alan Alda. See, that's a different.
No, that I would have liked, but
see,
it would be like if it would be like if the entire 477 spelled out a bunch of rocks and said goodbye, but then I came in and I made them spell out good time. And then as Hawkeye's flying away, he's like, I'm going to miss out all the good times I had at the 477. We stayed here longer than the war was going on.
It's exactly like that.
Now, I do agree that, like, sometimes this whole, it's like, let's say, like, he zigged when you thought he was going to zag. Like, sometimes this works. I like it with the lightsaber, and I also like it with this helmet. For a couple of reasons.
I like it in both occasions.
Yes, exactly. And I guess you've already talked about the lightsaber. I like it with the helmet because it's like, I do want to see Adam Driver's face. I think he's a good actor, and I want to see him doing with his face. It's like, we had a whole movie that established he had a weird helmet with a weird helmet voice. Like, I've seen it. Now let me see this guy's creepy face.
Yeah.
So, like, it gets our star in the movie. 2, it's like, well, that's character development. Like, he should not be hiding behind his grandpa's helmet gag. Like, he should be, if he's getting stronger and he's getting more secure in himself, like, if you're trying to build this guy up, he shouldn't be relying on his grandpa's props.
Right.
Mm-hmm. He should be his own person.
Yeah, that's why I like that.
Well, yeah, the thing that, again, we'll get there in 2 years, but then the thing that ends up undermining them, it seems like less of a good decision when it comes back to it, when it's like, oh, you know what? And then we had a monkey weld the mask back together, and then...
Yeah, that certainly didn't help matters by having basically him just say, no, you know what? It is a chicken. Give it back to me.
Yeah, exactly.
It really didn't... yeah.
Right.
See, that's where it becomes a problem because then it's like, okay, I'm seeing the strings. And the thing is, like, that also happens with the lightsaber in the movie that you guys will talk about in 2 years, where Luke Skywalker's like, you can't just throw this thing away. It's like, you know what? That line absent the meta context, I don't know what I would have noticed. But, like, when you start to put all these little pieces, and the fact that, like, well, and this movie ends with no one showing up, and the other movie ends with everyone showing up. It's like, you guys having some kind of weird measuring contest using Disney's money? Because it's like, count me out of it. I don't want to see two auteurs fight. I kind of just want to see some wars in amongst the stars.
Yeah.
I don't know, Sirancha, what do you think?
Yeah, I could see that. I know what you're talking about, and I think a lot of things in this movie are undermined in the things that we're going to see 40 years from now. Talk about the next movie.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. All that being said, I wouldn't trade the Sith chimp for anything. So we'll get there in 2 years, but
why wasn't that an Ugnaught? We've already got weird little guys that run around collecting pieces of Force sensitive. Because aren't the Ugnaughts the one that like kept Luke's lightsaber? Because we see in the comics that like, and then that's how the lady got it in the Cantino Bite.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's what Alex was just telling me.
That's why we're here. So, Sirancha, can I ask you a question about this movie?
Yeah, of course.
How much did you know
it's
going
be a really
in?
short podcast if she said no.
Did someone like? Well, we just move on to something else. Did you know going in like what the story was and everything, and like how familiar with Star Wars? And up until now, had you just been disinterested in it? Why had it just not crossed your radar? What's your backstory?
A fun story. So growing up, my parents were very, very religious, and I was not allowed to consume or enjoy anything that implied witchcraft, including Star Wars and also Santa Claus.
And the Harry Potter, obviously.
Oh, yeah, Harry Potter. No, none of that.
Yeah.
So it's one of those...
Witchcraft.
It's one of those things that when I got old enough to watch, I probably could have, if I wanted to, watched it in high school or college, but at that point, I was just not interested. So, to answer your question, going into this movie, no. I knew absolutely nothing. I knew that there was a girl with a lightsaber that everybody hated, and that's it.
Wow.
Well, do we have? We will get to her. We'll see her eventually.
Ray.
Ray. I don't know why I keep saying Ray in that voice anytime it comes up. I'm assuming that I'll work my way out of that. I hope to not be doing that for 7 months or whatever. So we'll see. If I keep
either
doing
that or
it,
by the end we'll all be doing it.
Exactly.
Ray.
Speaking of Ray, Snoke gives a little lightning zap here.
Yeah, a little hot foot for old Kylo Ren.
I had forgotten about that until just watching it now. I don't know if I picked up on that consciously until just watching it for this thing. I was like, oh yeah, lightning zap. Wait a minute, that's not just a. Because that is a big kind of indicator later in a different movie. We're supposed to be kind of it's supposed to be kind of ominous when we see somebody using that, and so here it's like, oh, okay, the only person that we've seen use it so far is Palpatine. So this could be teasing a hint, a connection between Snoke and Palpatine.
We also saw Dooku use it as well.
Did we? I did.
Yeah, because Yoda doesn't Yoda
you
like
had your eyes closed during the second half of Attack of the Clones. I know.
Right.
Doesn't he absorb the lightning either with his lightsaber or his little tiny hand? He does something. He negates that lightning somehow.
Oh yeah, doesn't he like Dragon Ball it or something?
Yeah.
He switches it and puts it in his pocket.
Right. Then he's like, oh, what's that behind your ear? Sith lightning.
Yeah, that's the one where
it's
Dooku's like, we're evenly matched. And it's like, okay. But, I mean, you're raising a good point. Like, the thing I like about that little lightning shot is that this is the first time that it is clearly established that Snoke is super powerful with the Force. Because up until this point, like, because I was thinking to myself, like, yo, I wonder if Snoke is just a military dude in the first movie. Because he's like Grand Admiral Snoke or some Supreme Leader. And I'm like, well, we've been taught that there's not a lot of Jedis and that there's not a lot of Force people and that they all got killed. So I was like, what if maybe Snoke's thing is that he's just like a Thrawn type. He's like militaristic. And so when he shocked him with the Force and just like nothing, like it was just like snapping a finger, I was like, oh, Snoke is like, he's also got powers. Yeah. And it was a real quick bit of visual shorthand. Like, this guy's stronger than this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Pete, I'm sure you would have liked for him not to have Force powers because you didn't even like that Palpatine had Force powers. Like the fact that an evil
I don't want anybody
to
have Force powers. I don't think the Force is real still. But yeah, I guess we didn't know. We didn't see him do anything like that in The Force Awakens. So yeah, if he was just like, well, that would tie in nicely to my original theory that Snoke was a clone of Grand Moff Tarkin, who was another just kind of non-powered guy who hung out with evil dudes, with the Sith, but he's Sith adjacent.
Mm-hmm. And that would make sense because of the Tarkin initiative. Like, you know, you get the sense that like Tarkin is the technology dude.
Right.
But it's like, I guess Sheev also likes technology. I guess everyone likes technology. It's fun. I like computers.
Except Yoda.
Yeah, you're right.
Partial to technology.
Well, Yoda brought a Game Boy with him to Dagobah. He's just been sitting in there. Still trying to beat that one game.
Yeah, because that's why he fights with R2-D2. Because he's like, I don't like you little creep. Give me back my thing.
But he is trying to steal. He's trying to steal R2's light. So maybe he does like technology.
There you go.
You're right.
He's like, electric light. It's been so long.
So many layers.
So Snoke says to Kylo Ren when talking about what a weak guy he is, that he has too much of his father's heart in him. Which I thought was odd because I would assume that since he's a Force guy, that he would say you have too much of your mother's heart as opposed to, But maybe that just sounds too weird because Star Wars is always about like fathers and sons. It sounds so weird to say like your mother's heart is, weird.
Well, I know what you're saying. It's like Han Solo isn't known for being a big-hearted character. We see him shoot a lot of people in the chest. Like, we see him kill a lot of people in these movies.
Right.
Yeah. Snoke's just falling for the PR.
Do you think he would... Would it sound too weird? Would it sound like he was insulting him or something? If he was like, hey, it's too much of your mother.
Your mother.
Too much of your mother. Oh. And then play the laugh track. The studio audience going, ooh.
All the guys with the swords in the background. Ooh.
Yeah.
This is the first time we see the elite Praetorian Guard, too. Those red guys in the background. They're pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. Love those guards. Love that they have to all do the simultaneous wrist twirl to shut the swords off.
Right, yeah.
Just love it. Just very stylish, goes with the aesthetic, fits in perfectly with the scary red room.
Mm-hmm. Do you think the room is red because they're red? Do they have alternate, like, is Snoke's room like a Philips Hue system or something where he can hit a button and turn it green? Or
I thought it was like a mood room, whatever.
Oh
room
like
he's
those
in,
lights.
Right.
All the kids
well,
have.
like the Wiz at the end of the Wiz, where it was like, all right, everybody, now we're blue, and they all have to go change color clothes into blue now. Like, do you think that there's different colors of those Praetorian Guards outfits for every mood?
You see, you're making me think because it's like the room is red. And those guys are red. So Snoke is probably always like, like, Jerry, I didn't see you there. Oh, goodness.
Sorry, my robe must have just flopped open there. I don't. I do. Then now I like the idea of that. Okay, well, this is they're with all the Snoke clones that we see later. Are there like 7 Snoke clones that are each working on a different project? And this is Snoke Red. And then elsewhere, there's a Snoke Blue with blue guards in a blue room, and you know, et cetera, et cetera.
If they all get together, they make this super Snoke.
Yes,
exactly.
Rainbow Snoke.
Rainbow Snoke.
Am I the only one that likes? Sorry.
Go ahead.
Am I the only one that likes Snoke? Like,
I like Snoke.
I like Snoke. I like that he gets killed halfway through the movie because, like, I was not expecting that, and I like
Undermine
that.
your expectations.
Yeah, and in a good way. It's like I like that it's like, you know what? Look, we all like Adam Driver. Let's just give this to Adam Driver. Like, I'm like, that's a pretty smart movie. I do like Adam Driver better, and I would like to see what this guy does when he's in charge of a military machine. You know, it's like, well, I gotta wait for the third movie to kill Snoke. It's like, we know Snoke's gonna die. Like, kill him now. Save us some time.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, Andy Serkis rules as Snoke because this character is entirely in the performance. He looks bad. Like, Snoke's character design looks bad. It's weird. It's not different enough from Emperor Palpatine. It's like vanilla Palpatine.
It's like Palpatine, but as an earthworm.
It's like Earthworm Palpatine, another creator who's gone on to say terrible things.
Yeah.
But
Palpatine.
yes, Chief Palpatine. Yes. But it's like it's entirely Andy Serkis. You could have just had a ping pong on a stick. And Andy Serkis just off screen going like, you were beaten by a lady. And be like, oh, I hate that ping pong.
One thing I think is weird about Snoke is that, like, why he doesn't do anything that a CG, like, why isn't he just a guy? Why isn't he just Andy Serkis wearing makeup? Like, he's just a guy. He doesn't do anything that is, like, especially CGI worthy to me.
He does not.
Yeah, he just kind of, like, stands. He doesn't fly around or do anything, really. So,
Yeah, and he's
could have been a
mostly
puppet.
human
for that
shape.
matter. Yeah. So,
That is
anyway,
weird.
that was, you know.
No,
You
that's
think
a really good point.
It's kind of like maybe they went to the store and they came back with Andy Serkis and they're like, well, now what do we do with him? You know what I mean? Like they're like, oh, Andy Serkis wants to be in a Star Wars. Great. Oh, we'll put him in. Oh, we can make him this bad guy. Great. Okay, but the bad guy is kind of human. That's okay. We'll make him CG. We'll do some mocap and
Yeah. And I think they were also working on CGI Grand Moff Tarkin for Rogue One, so they were probably working on doing more human seeming things, so they kind of wanted to use that engine they'd already built for that kind of stuff.
It's like, well, we want to make that look better, so let's get Andy Serkis in here to perform a different part, but we could kind of like train him on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, well, we're not going to get Eddie Van Halen to come in and play on this song. We'll get him to play on this other song, and then we'll kind of, hit him up for ideas, get him to make the guitar sound right, so then when we play it on our song, that makes sense, right?
It makes sense.
Yeah.
You want Circus in the room. If Circus is in the room right now, this podcast would be better. Like, not that it's not great. I'm here. But, like, I know what you're saying. I mean, maybe the reason... It's like Andy Serkis is like a... What is he, like a 5'5", like 65-year-old chubby guy? Like, I kind of get that you want the circus mocap, so that maybe he's CGI because it's like, that way it's more circusy, even though there's ironically less circus.
Publicity if he does it as opposed to,
Right.
some anonymous ILM tech guy or something.
Right, like a David Prowse, James Earl Jones thing where it's like, well, if it's all circus, then the nerds like that. The nerds like the full circus.
Yeah, they do.
They demand it. Did we have our Porg factoid for today already?
Oh, our Porg fact of the day is that if you go to Star Wars Land, what's it called? Galaxy's Edge. I've been calling it Star Wars Land colloquially.
Might as well. Yeah.
You can buy the blue milk that Luke drinks from the sea monster, and you can get it in blue flavor or green flavor, and you can also choose to get rum or tequila in them. The blue one tastes like cotton candy, and the green one tastes like algae, scum from a pond. And how that relates to porgs is they would probably drink the blue one, but not the green one.
But I can tie this to porgs, because at that same stand where you can get those drinks, they also have porg nuggets. And I don't like that.
I don't like that at all because they're selling in-canon porgs that you're supposed to be adopting.
Yes, because the thing is, when you get a porg, it comes in a little carrier. So you can like put, like a pet carrier. So like when you fly back home in the airplane, that you can put it up like you would a pet. It's like a little space carrier.
Right. It's exactly the same thing as a pet store selling parakeets on one side and then chicken nuggets.
And parakeet nuggets on the other side.
Nuggets, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I don't like it.
They're made from evil porgs, the porg nuggets.
Oh,
so
yeah.
you don't have to worry.
They're all
about
jerks.
that. They all committed crimes. Horrible, horrible crimes.
I hope it was murder because they're dead now.
Oh, were that it were only murder, but let's not get into it.
Gracious.
We talked about this a little bit last year before this all happened. Last year for well, I guess it's 2 years ago now, almost. I don't know. For Life Day, we went to Galaxy's Edge here at Disneyland and got the. We determined that if you get the blue and the green and mix them together, then it becomes its own thing, almost like an Arnold Palmer. And we were trying to determine what that should be called, and we said it should be a Sebulba, who's a famous athlete from Star Wars land. So if you get
did it taste good?
Yes.
What does that got to do with anything?
I guess nothing.
Yeah, exactly. It's Star Wars. Yeah. So we tried to coin that if you mix the blue and the green together, it's a Sebulba. And so I encourage anyone listening to this, once everything opens back up, and you go to Galaxy's Edge, go get a blue, ask them for a Sebulba, and they'll be like, "What are you talking about, nerd?" And be like, "Oh, this is when you mix the blue and the green together." And they'll be like, "You have to do that yourself." And you're like, "All right, give me like 2 $10 drinks."
I'm not a licensed mixologist.
Right. But yes, recommended.
I'll try it next time I'm down there.
Those were alcoholic as heck too.
They really were.
I don't remember an alcoholic option for mine. I'm jealous.
Oh, we had an alcoholic option because we went to the one in Florida. Maybe it's a regional
everything's
thing.
alcoholic option in Florida.
Everything is alcohol.
You have to opt out of the alcohol.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, another cool thing. All right, so Star Wars Land is inside Disney Studios Land, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
There's a little like 1950s cafe that you can go to. I forget what it's called.
It's called the 50s or Mom's Diner.
Yeah.
Or something. Because the theme is it's like D Words, Last Resort, where the waiters are mean to you. That's the whole shtick.
Yeah.
So this one, it's your mom and she's mean to you.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't remember because we couldn't get a table. We sat at the bar.
Yeah, we sat at the bar, but no, I remember watching YouTube videos about it. I've never actually experienced it.
That's hysterical. Okay, so A, you got to go there because there's funny mom acting. But
Sure.
B, they have a peanut butter and jelly milkshake there that's really good.
Wow.
Remember that?
Oh, yeah, that was delicious.
Yeah, that was good.
Sound
So,
good.
yeah.
What
you
kind of
go
booze
get
does it have in it?
The milkshake does not come with booze, but that's probably the cheapest way
Pass.
if you want to imbibe before you go to the Star Wars land.
They'll pour booze in any. They'll do it.
They really will.
They love because they know that you're parents and that you need to get drunk to wait in line for 4 hours.
It's not even insanely expensive, the booze there. I mean, obviously it's more than you pay somewhere else, but for Disney prices, it's not anything to complain about.
Yeah, what I like to do is I like to fill up a catheter bag with rum. And then like when they look for the drinks, I'm like, "Oh, don't touch that. My pee-pee's in there." And then they see me drinking it, and I'm like, "My delicious pee-pee."
I saw this on Survivor.
Exactly.
Right. You just tell them you're training for the next season of Survivor.
My friend Bear Grylls made this.
I'm picturing you wiping your mouth the same way Luke does after he drinks from
exactly.
the
big cup of urine, and then
You just reminded me another reason why I like this movie. And I get that we're wrapping this episode up. I think the reason that I like these Last Jedi movies, Star Wars is supposed to be weird. You think about episode 4. Like a guy in a Halloween mask and a lady, and then remember how there's like just 20 minutes of robots walking around the desert? There's like so much time where robots are walking around in the desert in Star Wars 4. And it's like, I like that this movie's weird. There's like a guy drinking milk out of an undersea cow's boob. There's little like laundry ladies and little birds are flying around. I like the weird stuff in this movie.
Yeah, absolutely. We need to. It's like the Keep Portland weird things. We need to make a Keep Star Wars weird shirt. Alex, get on. You're in Portland and you like Star Wars, so you can make that
weird. Yeah.
It's like, hey, What's everyone's favorite thing from Star Wars 9? Let's all name it on 3. 1, 2, 3. That little technician
Babu
guy.
Yeah, when
Frick.
he goes, serpent. Oh.
That's right, Babu Frick. We all love that little weird creep. And you really get the sense that, like, the whole staff had to fight to get that little weird creep in the movie.
I love that little word creep.
They were all like, you put this little weird creep in the movie where we all walk. They're like, they can't fire all of us. It's like, Star Wars is supposed to be weird, man. It's supposed to be weird.
Sith chimp.
Sith
Anyway.
chimp!
Yeah.
That's another shirt we should do. Sith chimp. Well, do we have anything else to say about minute 19?
I don't think so. We got
All right.
more tomorrow. Can we get you guys for one more day? Can you hold on
Let's
for one
wrap
more
up
day?
the week!
1 week.
All right.
1 week. Do you guys are you guys on the YouTube by any chance?
Absolutely. You can go to youtube.com/Asterios, and that's one of the ways you can get our podcast, The Loudest Podcast. We upload it straight to YouTube every morning. It's on Spotify. It's on regular podcast stuff like iTunes and stuff. Because, like, there's a lot of kids, they only know about podcasts through YouTube.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so, yeah, we put our stuff there, too.
Cool. Well, we've started doing that, and as
Putting
some of you
our
know,
stuff on
because
your
you're
channel.
watching us right now. Yeah,
Yeah.
we started hacking into Asterios' channel.
Hang out.
What's the best way for people to go to our channel, Pete? Do we have StarWarsMinute.com/YouTube or?
Sure.
Yeah,
Do
go
it.
to that. Do it.
Me?
And join us here. Yes, all of you. Everyone listening to my voice, do it. And join
must
us here tomorrow for
obey.
another Star Wars Minute.
Star Wars.